Welcome to Black Struggles Untold, where we bring you powerful and inspiring stories that touch the heart and teach timeless lessons. Before we dive into today's story, make sure to hit the subscribe button, give this video a like, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Now, let's jump right into the story. He was just the Uber driver until he took them to their own company. 6:15 a.m., Atlanta. The city had barely stirred when Jordan Wallace pulled his second-hand Toyota Camry to the curb. Rain tapped gently against the windshield, a rhythmic reminder that another long day had begun. He adjusted his rear-view mirror and exhaled. His Uber app pinged, a pickup in the upscale neighborhood of Buckhead. The name, Bryce. 5-star rider. Probably another exec headed to a boardroom where people like Jordan usually weren't invited. He tightened his seatbelt, tapped, accept, and drove. The gate opened at a marble estate. Out walked 3 sharply dressed men, mid-30s, laughing, briefcases in hand. "You, this our ride?" One of them said, grinning as they piled in. Jordan nodded. "Morning, gentlemen." Bryce, the one in the middle, chuckled. "Man, I hope you know the city. We're late to a huge meeting. Company merger. Big day." "Where to?" Jordan asked. "Thornbridge Tower," Bryce said. "Penthouse offices. You know, where real money lives." The men laughed again. Jordan just smiled, hands steady on the wheel. "I know the way." But inside his heart raced. Thornbridge Tower. Penthouse. That was his building, his floor. The very place he once walked with purpose before everything fell apart. But today was different. The ride was filled with jokes at Jordan's expense. "You ever think about doing something bigger, my guy?" Bryce asked. "You got the voice for it. Maybe a receptionist gig." "Ha!" Another added. "Or, hey, valet, long as you stay close to a car, right?" They laughed. Jordan stayed silent, focused, patient. He knew this road well, not just the asphalt, but the path of judgment, of assumptions, of being unseen and underestimated. It wasn't the first time, and maybe it wouldn't be the last. But today, they had no idea who they were riding with. They pulled into the valet lot beneath Thornbridge Tower. Bryce tossed Jordan a $5 bill without making eye contact. "Thanks, Chief. Keep the hustle alive." The 3 strutted inside, adjusting ties, ready to impress. Jordan parked the car, walked to the private elevator on the side, and pulled out a key card. One swipe, a soft ding. The doors opened. Straight to the penthouse. Straight into his past. And his future. 8 years earlier, Jordan Wallace had been on the cover of Atlanta Business Weekly. A tech prodigy. The youngest black founder to raise $20 million in venture capital for a startup that promised to revolutionize logistics with AI. He was a golden child. Interviews. Panels. Even a TED Talk. But behind the scenes, boardroom politics festered. Investors grew uncomfortable with Jordan's leadership, said he was too ambitious, too street, too radical with his hiring approach. They wanted more refined image. Quietly, they voted him out of his own company, replaced him with a smoother-talking CEO with Ivy League credentials and a LinkedIn full of buzzwords. They stripped his name off the door, bought his shares for pennies, and rewrote the history of the company to erase him. Broke. Humiliated, Jordan disappeared from the spotlight, took odd jobs, drove Uber to stay afloat. But every night, he wrote code, designed new models, sketched business plans on napkins. And when he was ready, he came back. Quietly, strategically. Over 5 years, he built a new company, Blackflint AI. It grew in the shadows. Smart, efficient, and quietly acquiring competitors. Until last month, when Blackflint signed a deal to absorb its biggest rival, the very company he founded and lost. The merger was confidential. The reveal scheduled for this morning. And now those men, the ones laughing in his back seat, they worked for his old company. On their way to meet the new owner. The irony was poetic, painful, perfect. As he stepped off the elevator, the executive assistant looked up and smiled. "Mr. Wallace, conference room A is ready. The board's waiting." He nodded. "Thank you." The glass doors opened. Inside, suits lined the table. At the end sat the three men. Bryce's face dropped. "Yo, wait, what?" One of the board members stood. "Gentlemen, meet Jordan Wallace, founder of Blackflint AI, and as of this morning, your new CEO." Silence fell like thunder. You could hear heart stop. Bryce stammered. You're the Uber driver." Jordan smiled. "No, I'm your boss." He walked to the head of the table. "Let's begin." The next hour was a masterclass. Jordan laid out the restructuring plan. Who would stay? Who would go? And why? Performance, ethics, leadership. He spared no one, especially Bryce. "We believe leadership starts with character," he said, "and respect. If you can't treat strangers with dignity, you don't belong here." Bryce was terminated on the spot. No security. No second chance. Just silence. News broke later that day. Black tech visionary reclaims his empire. The story trended, not because of revenge, but because of resilience. Jordan didn't just return. He redefined the rules. He brought mentorship programs for underserved youth into the company, partnered with HBCU for internships, doubled the starting wage for entry-level staff. He remembered every struggle, every insult, every cheap tip, and he built a future where others wouldn't have to endure the same. One evening, weeks later, Jordan waited outside the same Buckhead estate. This time, he wasn't driving. He was picking up a young intern for a mentorship dinner. As the intern climbed in, he looked at Jordan's car. "Sir, you still drive?" Jordan smiled. "Sometimes. It's not about where you sit. It's about who you are when you get there. Because sometimes the person you think is just a driver is actually holding the keys to your future." Justice isn't loud. It's patient, precise, and poetic. They thought he was just the Uber driver until he took them to his company and left them at the curb where they'd left him years ago. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Tell us in the comments section where you're watching from. We love hearing from you. See you in our next video.